don't like the looks of this.
System online.
Hello? Who's there? Can you help?
Please state your name.
We've been in a plane crash. My wife.
Please state your name.
Stanley. Stanley Florence. But you...
File not found.
Listen to me. I'm trying to find...
Please state your correct name.
Stanley. Whitaker. My name is...
File found.
For the son of Paddy Whitaker to do something like this. They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, but it's like you came from a different tree altogether.
What are you talking about? What are we doing here?
You know exactly why you're here.
I'm trying to find my wife.
I've done nothing wrong.
Usually I'd say that's a matter of perspective, but not in this case.
Tell me where she is.
I've only got one question for you, Stanley. Why did you bomb that pub?
What?
What's this about?
You're talking about Rory's pub? You think I
That
did
was
that?
30 years ago.
You're mad.
That wasn't me.
Rory was a mate. I would never...
Misunderstand the question. I wasn't asking whether or not you did it. Why did you bomb that pub?
Where is Leonore?
Is that why he was in jail? For supposedly bombing a pub? But we're in control this time. As much as you can be, at least. In a hallway. So he's flashing back to some... are these the nightmares? No, those are probably about the baby. I mean, the child that died. Those doors open at all? Not for now.
Wasn't that an IRA pub?
Bollocks. Rory wasn't political.
With all those dissident Republicans who drank there?
Everybody drank there. It was just a local.
What about your father? Did Paddy Whitaker drink at the local?
No.
No.
Your father, the famous peace activist, wouldn't step foot inside it because it was Michael O'Shea's pub. And Michael is real IRA. But then you go and marry his daughter.
I don't want to hear this.
Jesus, I can't imagine the look on your father's face when you told him. Surprised it didn't kill him on the spot.
No. It was the police that killed him.
Then why didn't you bomb a police pub? Help me understand.
There's nothing to understand. I didn't fucking do it, right? You got the wrong fella.
Ooh, did not know we were going with the IRA in this game. Ooh, European terrorism is the subject in the background of this game, apparently. Got a little IRA Romeo and Juliet going on, strangely. Turns out the Irish accents kinda matter. Not just a random flavor to add to the game. This dude's got some background trauma to work out. And it's not really helping that we're here.
Frankly, I'm glad you chose that pub. Probably saved us a mess of trouble.
Please.
Bunch of tossers and tow rags, all of them.
Just let me go.
All of them criminals, except her.
Please.
Fiona Miller was just a little girl. You're gonna pay for that.
Go to hell.
Look around. We're already there.
They're all adult body bags, except for one small child's body. On one level, I can't help but feel like I just played this game, though, because I just played Outlast 2, another game where you go through some sort of modern crisis where you're going around and your wife's missing and how you're gonna save your wife, and then you flash back to some sort of past trauma hallucination thing over and over again. It's actually really weird how similar these two games seem so far, minus the whole thing where I'm getting murdered constantly by people in that game. Even the death of a little girl. That me? Probably. Are they all me? I'd say we're looping, but the bodies keep changing. Here we go.
I can't believe that you're the one shagging Michael O'Shea's daughter.
Leave her out of this.
What's she like, eh? I'll bet she's a wild one.
What the fuck is this all about?
I just might have to go pay her a visit while you're stuck in here.
But she's got nothing to do with any of it.
Maybe me and some of the lads.
If you ever lay a fucking finger on her...
You'll what? What'll you do? Blow me up too? You want to protect your little whore. You signed that statement.
Alright, we've reached peak rapey creepiness. What the fuck? Oh. Oh, it's a wall. I thought it faded to black. I was just running into a wall. That's messed up, so I guess that's why we left Ireland. We we basically signed ourselves up to, as somebody who we're either admitted to being the IRA or anti-IRA, but bombing we had to run for it because of that, apparently. Whoa, that was weird.
It can't be.
Was I supposed to be able to read that? None of those looked like they're it, but I couldn't read it with the flashlight. Oh.
I don't know when this letter will reach you, if it will reach you at all. I can only pray that it will. Our world is clouded by the fog of war, but in the time I spent with you, things finally became clear. For the first time, I thought I could imagine a future, a life with you. But that's all over now. Sometime very soon, I'm going to be transferred to the maze, and I know I'll never leave that prison alive. I don't know where I'll go when it's over, but I'm not afraid, because I've seen hell. This is it. And it's cold, and it's dark, and I've no way to reach you. Leonore, you are my light, but we have no future together, and I'll not have you wait for me. Forget about me. I'm already dead.
I just thought that'd be a cool camera angle. You have greasy eyeballs.
Stanley, can you hear me? Stanley, it's time to wake up. You have to move on.
The dream is over.
What the hell just happened? Just a nightmare, right? It's all over now. It's over.
We came all the way down here to hallucinate, apparently. How in the world do we proceed now? Or am I in a different building? I am in a different building. What? Constant hypothermia warnings. This place seems warmer than before.
Huh? It's not as cold in this part of the island. Maybe I can finally get my head on straight.
It's beautiful around here. Look at this. Horrible nightmare swarm. Enjoy that.
I can hardly feel the pin in my fingers. My whole body is numb. I can hardly say the words on the page. I can't stop crying. They've taken away my heart. Stanley has been arrested for the bombing of Rory's pub. Someone must have set him up. I asked my father if he knew who would do this to Stanley. He just said that I should move on. Stanley won't live long inside prison. I nearly spit in his eye. I swear by all that's holy, if I find out that he had anything to do with Stanley being arrested, I'll burn him alive.
Oof. displeased. And probably should be. They're being caught up in a conflict that they didn't choose. People that are angry about stuff that probably isn't even related to what they care about on some level. These kinds of conflicts rarely
What is
are.
that? Insects. Ha! Take that, you little fuckers.
I hate the ecosystem. Blah! Oh god, we're going to like pestilence territory here. We're really adding to the idea that this entire thing's probably not real. Things are getting so weirdly fantastical at the moment.
That tree. It's monstrous.
Oh, that tree. Oh, is that even the tree? No, that's just a series of trees, right? Which tree is specifically monstrous? Is there one on top of the mountain? Is that a tree in the middle? I guess maybe it's a tree. Oh, this whole thing is a tree then, huh? It just looks like a bunch of trees on a piece of land. Yeah, none of this seems real. I don't think any of this is real at this point.
Everything is in place. But the air feels hollow and empty in my chest. Oh, I can hear my heart pounding in my ears. In just a few hours, life, as I know it, will be over. But that's only if I'm very lucky. Otherwise, my life will just be over. Today I'm rescuing Stanley.
Thank you, love. Now it's time for me to return the favor.
She straight up broke Stanley out? Like a prison? That's why they're on the run, because she's a mega badass? The heck? Got stuck there for a second.
Oh, come on.
Of
Why
course.
is this locked?
I don't know, let's click on other things until we find out.
We hadn't been to the ocean since spring, and it was a shock to see our tray so barren and frail. As we walked, Stanley wrapped his coat around my shoulders. It was still warm from his body, and I pulled the collar up to my nose to see if it still smelled like him. It didn't. It just smelled of dust and mothballs. Stanley said his father would bring him here and say, "This is why we struggle." He thinks that now he finally understands what his father meant. But I wonder. I laid the jacket on the ground and pulled us both onto it. I just wanted to make him forget the rest of the day. I wanted to forget the rest of the world except for him. The grass was itchy and dry, and the sky was as white as butcher paper. Neither of us bothered to speak another word. The cold wind would have just carried our words away.
What the heck is that?
Water looks disgusting.
Yep. Just going for it. We're not even freezing in here. Hey. Just have to deal with being in the nightmare water. I hope that worked out. Get up before I get some sort of pestilence. Ugh.
At least that water isn't freezing. It's just fell.
That was more or less the thought I had. Does that mean I can now twist this thing? Yep.
That cleared him away.
Oh. So if I tried to go on top of that tree, it was probably going to block me with all the insects or something. Oh, did that clear all of them away, period? I don't know, there's like, oh, there's just like seas of them around. Looks like there's a crevice cutting me off from crossing, so I needed to do that in order to proceed. I need to be able to go on top of this. That constant background noise would drive me crazy. It just makes me think about how
Could
like
be a shortcut to the top of the mountain.
was it like mosquitoes are like the #1 cause of death among mankind, basically because of malaria. It's So I'm just thinking of like all the pestilences and attacks and all the terrible things that some insects can do.
Heavy with the stink of rot and the buzzing of those damned insects. I don't hear it so much as feel it. I'm afraid it might drive me mad. If I'm not mad already.
And if you're not thinking about diseases, you're thinking about the idea that like a lot of buzzing insects are often feeding off of rot and corpses and decay, and like there's not a lot of positive connotations of that cloud of noise. You're locked, right? Of course you are. You're locked too.
There were so many people in the market, I couldn't hear myself think. I needed to get out of there. But when I asked Stanley to choose something for supper, he just replied with his usual, whatever you want. I wanted him to make a decision for once, so I could stop thinking about absolutely everything all the time. The bags were so heavy and my hands were cramping, and someone close by smelled like goat. It may have even been me. So I dropped everything and let the bags spill all over the street. I didn't care. I'm sick of the crowds and the stink of curry, and I'm sick of the hate. I want to walk through green grass. I want to feel cool air on my skin. Under a sky the colour of butcher paper.
What color is butcher paper? Huh. Like, I was thinking gray. You want a gray sky? You fantasize about that? Leonore and Stanley. Yep, this is not real. Nothing here is real. This is me. This is we're fantasizing about a past location we've been to now. We are losing our minds. One of the signs of hypothermia is first there's numbness, then there's hallucination. Okay. I think the signs of hypothermia are going to happen to us. There's already the threat of fire everywhere. I bet you that near the end of this we're gonna feel like we're burning alive. And things are gonna get fierier and fierier. I think that we're the ones that are trapped, and we're suffering from hypothermia and dying. And maybe there'll be a Leela and Fry situation where it's a switch about which one's in danger and which one's safe, and maybe she'll save me. Or maybe we just both died in this plane crash and that's it. That's just a cloud of them, look at that. You're locked too? Of course you are. Well, I think that last diary entry was like 10 years after the original time they all got that she broke them out. So maybe they were on the run already at that point. I imagine the other ones work now.
Molly works at the prison. She was worried about taking the job, but my father insisted it was good to have one of our own on the inside. He just wanted to use her. But it turns out, I'm the one putting her at risk. She got the powder inside, and there's a lad from the neighbourhood who will slip it into Stanley's breakfast. If he eats enough, the pain in his guts will be so bad they'll transfer him to the hospital. But if he eats too much, it could kill him.
Damn. They gave him torture juice just so they could move him to somewhere where it'd be easier to break him out. She's a very enjoyable voice actor, by the way. She's a pretty good choice for all the narrations.
Ah, good. Those bugs are gone.
There we go. I want to hear more English and European accents, or just more accents across the board, really.
What a jumbled mess.
There's a somewhat annoying tendency that if a character is white in a video game, they tend to sound American, and it gets a little monotonous at some point. That's one of the things I really liked about Ni no Kuni, which I didn't play very much because I wasn't really into it very much, the game as a whole, but you have a Welsh character. I'm like, oh, that's neat. The fairy character that's going around with you has a Welsh accent. You don't hear that ever. Makes me want to also play Xenoblade Chronicles, I think. That one also has some less common accents, specifically because it's a game that was localized for Europe, and then they stopped localizing it, and then people protested to try to bring it to the... I can't do anything with this? People protested to bring it to, not protested, petitioned to keep it, to bring it to the U.S. Does it just close again? I guess so. People petitioned to bring it to the U.S. and they're like, well, it's already localized for Europe. I guess we'll just put it in the U.S. with those voices. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Instead of having everyone be American, there's a game that sounds different. Variety's good. I'm totally cool with people localizing something for other European countries or something, and then bringing it to us just in that form. I'm like, cool, fine. Give us that voice cast. It's something different. You don't work? As long as that's... Let's see. There's some kind of puzzle going on here, I think. If I undo this, do they come back, I wonder? Oh, I can't undo it. Huh. Yeah, pretty much everything's locked off at the moment. Is it because I already solved the puzzle? I'm supposed to just leave now or something? I wonder. It feels like there'd be something else to do around here. I can't hop in the water though. Not from this side at least, maybe the other side. Nope, I can't like hop in and go swimming down for something. And at this point it seems like every single crank is locked. I guess we're done here. Maybe I just, in my 2 actions, solved the puzzle without even realizing what it was entirely. Weird. Wait, there's bugs here, though. Yeah, I can't go through that. So what can I interact with down here that I'm missing? Let's see, if I close these doors, does some lock somewhere get unlocked again? A little time consuming because you gotta like poke around one by one. Okay, so that reopens you, and this will undo you.
Alright. Now the path is clear.
There we go. So I had to close it.
I'm trying to stay awake. Keep my mind on... Before the plane crashed, you didn't finish your story. Right at the time you stole the box of sweets. But I think I know exactly how it ended. Your dad, he knew what you'd done. He just didn't know why. Still, he never asked you about it. Never accused you of anything. So you never told him the truth. But it was always there, wasn't it? An abandoned space between you. Like an unfinished story.
That's a weird note.
She sounds so weak. Hang on, Leonore.
That's a weird note. I just finished Ethan, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, which the last thing that happens in that game is called The Unfinished Story.
I couldn't go to my father for help. He's all for letting Stanley take the fall. But the mad bastard with me today didn't know that, so he did everything I told him, including stealing an ambulance. Molly called us about Stanley's medical transfer, which gave us a head start on the real ambulance. I looked ridiculous in the uniform, but our documents were perfect, so I kept my head up and let Stanley inspire my confidence. Even so, I nearly fainted when the guards wheeled him out on the gurney. He looked dead already. The guards loaded him on board, and I drove us away. 5 minutes out, and the mad bastard dosed both the guards with anaesthesia. And just like that, Stanley was free.
Both guards. It's like a James Bond escape. Look at that. We just knocked them all out with just stuck it one by one.
That water smells. No wonder there's so many bugs.
Let's go jam our face in it. That seems safe. Ugh. Seems a tad less helpful than I was hoping for. Surface real quick. Going back down. And I open the door. Nope. I maybe just be putting Stanley through this for no reason. Whoops. Is it just me or does surfacing look weird in this game? Yeah, it looks weird because your head looks like it's already above water.
I don't even want to think what's growing in there. Oh, that's rotten.
Oh yeah.
Christ.
You're gonna die, Stanley. You've got a brain fungus now, so enjoy that. Yeah, there's a weird effect where it looks like your head's above the surface, and then the surfacing animation happens, and you're like, "But I was already okay." And the whole planet, the whole world looks like it changes color. It's a weird sight. By and large, though, it's a very nice looking game. These are really cool looking. Like I can just point in any direction, and you get like a pretty scenic view. Like look at this, like a demented version of The Witness right here.
Rory hosted a wake at his pub for the victims of Wren's Day. I think he was just trying to show off. He got arrested last year for dealing, and the police broke his hand, so suddenly he's all political. Stanley and I sat in the car for a long time, watching the front door swallow all the black suits until the pub looked like it was filled with ink. Stanley opened the car door, but I grabbed his arm and asked him to take me to our tree. I felt a crippling anxiety that if I went into that black pub, I'd never see the sky again. Stanley didn't say a word. He just started the car, and we drove away.
Well, we know the story about that pub. If they went inside there, they would have likely died in an explosion.
Let's see if that helps with the smell.
What the hell purpose does this whole place serve anyway?
Nope. Now I can see what I'm working with.
Hello there. I wonder if this red scarf has any meaning to them. Keep an eye out for a red scarf in the stories. Anything down here besides... Nothing down here. We'll try the door then. Yeah, I don't think we're saving her from hypothermia at this rate. We're pretty late. Of course it's locked. Why wouldn't it be? All the cool kids are locked these days. And no progress. We'll try up here then. There we go. You gotta switch it over. What am I going to do? Kick them off that track, I suppose. Yeah.
What? That's it? Is that all you got? Oh, you bastard. Need to figure something out. The bugs are still there.
Not even reacting to the fact that the tree's bleeding now.